Tonight, we are going in depth on bananas, more specifically the political bananas that have been playing out on our TV sets for a couple of months now in relation to the race to be the next governor of Oklahoma. And a new ad that's aired even here on Fox 23 for the first time, it seems a statewide political candidate has his image being used in a deepfake AI TV ad. And the scary part is I dug around and we really have no way of knowing who manipulated the body of former Speaker of the House Charles McCall, let alone who paid for it to happen. And I also spoke with one expert on political marketing and AI who says this one ad has now opened Pandora's box for more deepfakes to come across your TV soon. The race to be the next occupant of the governor's mansion was already bananas.
Cutting this banana does not make it an orange.
But former Speaker of the House and Republican gubernatorial candidate Charles McCall has now cemented his place in Oklahoma political history in a way he wasn't expecting and clearly didn't want.
Charles McCall talks big about stopping sex changes for minors.
McCall is the first ever statewide candidate for office to have his image put into and manipulated by deepfake AI technology.
Transgender ally, Banana Chuck McCall, just too woke for Oklahoma.
That looks like McCall's face, but never once has McCall posed with a banana in his pocket, let alone for an ad to be used against him.
A lot of voters may not spend the effort and the time necessary to dissect all of the components that are in it.
Dr. Kim Gaddy is a marketing and political communications professor at the University of Oklahoma in Norman. She is actively studying the rise of AI in all ads. She saw the deepfake McCall ad multiple times before I even called her.
As far as AI use in creating these ads, I mean, that's a trend we're seeing across all aspects of marketing.
Gaddy says with the rapid growth of AI, it was just a matter of time before someone used it for campaign purposes.
Should we require that any kind of brand, or in this case candidate, indicate on their ad within a disclaimer that an AI tool was used in the creation of the ad?
Gaddy says while McCall's movements are being manipulated now, she says it's you, the voter, who needs to take note. Today, it's body movement. Tomorrow, she warns, it could be the manipulation of a candidate's voice and words.
We've always wanted to uphold free speech, especially in a political context, right, in this country. And we should. That leaves us, though, with these tools who can now do this and manipulate these things in a way that it's like, well, is it, if I'm a public figure, is it slander or is it libel? I'm like, well, did you say it? Did you do it? And it's just being taken out of context.
And with McCall being a public figure, the laws protecting him are slim to none right now. She says it really is a new frontier in state and national politics.
I think right now it's a little bit of the Wild West. The courts have talked about taking up consideration for, in a general marketing context even.
The McCall campaign sent me a statement saying the ad was, quote, disturbing, dangerous, and has no place in Oklahoma politics, and said they are proud to fight for kids. They blamed the campaign of other Republican gubernatorial candidate, Attorney General Gentner Drummond, saying he's ashamed of his record on transgender issues. The Drummond campaign responded with its own statement, saying the Drummond camp had nothing to do with the creation of the deepfake ad. Says McCall brought it on himself by making trans issues the top issue in his campaign and pointed to Drummond's actions as AG on halting some pro-trans policies in court.
Except there's a little problem.
In reality, who created the ad is actually a mystery. At the end of the ad is an address for a group called Make Oklahoma Great Again, with an address listing an office in downtown Tulsa. I went to 601 South Boulder, Suite 610, to ask if the group is concerned it just opened Pandora's box on a new level of political ads. 601 South Boulder is the Petroleum Club building. But when I got to the 6th floor where Suite 610 listed on the ad is supposed to be, I found nothing but an empty hallway with empty spaces. Okay, so we're in the elevator now. We're coming down from the 6th floor. We looked for Suite 610, and it doesn't exist. There is only one suite in use, and it's not Suite 610. On the directory in the lobby, not only is no one listed for Suite 610, Suite 610 isn't listed at all. And that's where Gaddy warns things get even more complicated. When campaigns use deepfake AI technology, they can be tracked down. In this case, it's a dark money group, a group of anonymous political donors who pull their money together, but their identities for accountability can be very tough to find and are protected by law.
That kind of money in politics, again, nothing new. It only seems to get worse every election cycle. And by worse, I mean just more of it, because we don't have, any real constraints on it.
For the last 2 years, the Oklahoma House of Representatives has passed bills out of committee with bipartisan support, anticipating something like this was coming.
Under this bill, the dissemination of a campaign advertisement containing a deceptive and fraudulent deepfake of a candidate would be prohibited if done without consent.
However, those bills died on the House floor in the last 2 sessions, never becoming law. One of the big issues when it comes to tracking down who is responsible for this ad is that the prime search engine the public can use to track who is spending money on our elections has been down for more than a month. Take a look. Usually I and other political reporters go to a website called the Oklahoma Guardian. This is what it looks like right now. It's run by the Oklahoma Ethics Commission. This fall, the website was due for a much-needed overhaul, and that overhaul started in September. It was down for the entire month of October. Only recently did it start to look like this, where candidates have been allowed to upload their information again. But the search feature of that information is still down, and there is no way of knowing when it is coming back, is what I was told. The upgrade didn't roll out as smooth as it hoped. You should see in between the green and blue boxes an orange box saying click here to search records. It's not ready yet. So let's actually take a look at the law around gender transitioning and children. It is very strict here in Oklahoma, and we should also mention and note that unless Oklahoma voters and their politicians have a sudden, quick change of heart, these laws really are not going anywhere. Some of this is now even backed up by recent court decisions, including one by the U.S. Supreme Court. Oklahoma has a ban on gender transitioning, or what is called gender affirming care for minors. It, as are other states who have similar bans, is supported by a recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling released just last June. Oklahoma has banned biological males from competing or joining any girls or women's sports teams. That issue is the law of the land here in the state today, but court challenges in other parts of the country could change that in the future depending on the rulings. Oklahoma also has what is known as the Women's Bill of Rights, legally defining what a woman is and is not, and who can and cannot be legally considered a woman in the eyes of the law and the state. Those definitions also apply in Oklahoma public schools as well, where there are even more restrictions on teaching gender ideology. What is so unique about the transgender surgeries issue being top talking points right now in the race to be the next governor is that the data overwhelmingly shows this is a concern among some voters, but it's nowhere near the top 3 among most voters' concerns. In multiple surveys of voters and even elections focusing on just Republican voters, the top 3 issues out there right now are these. The big one is inflation and affordability of things, not just at the grocery store, but in all aspects of their lives, including their bills. The second issue is growing Oklahoma's economy and bringing more and better jobs to the state. And third, and it's been high on the list for a while, is improving Oklahoma's education rankings, especially when it comes to our reading and math scores. These are the consistent top 3 issues for a while now, but they have not really been addressed in most Oklahoma political ads on the air right now. Rounding out the top 5 are public safety and tribal issues. With the election not happening until June, we will just have to see what issues actually remain on the candidates' radar.